So, hey guys, back again with another duel commentary, the third and final duel in the match against Koshiki here, with his god slash trap slash burn deck. And here again I am dubbing over this, and we can see here that I side into effect failures. Now these are reasonably important in the duel, actually, siding. Like I say, side decking, picking the right cards is usually vital. I've worked a bit harder on my side decks recently, actually, and because I used to just throw in anything, but now I've worked a little bit harder and it's actually paying off. So here I play the Rotor to get the Stratos. Always go for the Stratos instead for the Rotor, really, unless you've already played it. Obviously it's useful to get Prisma as well, but you should really never go for the straight Prisma. You should always just go for the Stratos and then the Prisma, because really you're plotting more off it than you would if you just went straight to Prisma. Obviously maybe if you've got a really essential Prisma combo set up, then Rotor, maybe you can afford to get the Prisma, but at the moment Rotor does nicely just going for Stratos and then Prisma. So we see him MST this Call of Haunted. It's not that big a deal. I wasn't that scared. I'm never that scared of Stratos or dying, really. He's not that important, so important in my deck. He's useful for a few things, but he's actually not as that important as just a monster on the field. So we see him chain these three traps here. Imperial Iron Wall, which will stop things being removed from play. The 3,000 point Defender, and he also plays Imperial... I've missed the name now. Oh well, but you saw it there. I think it's Imperial Custom or something. But anyway, that causes trap cards face continuous ones not to be destroyed. So it's actually a nice combo set up there that actually none of his monsters can be destroyed. I do play a Heavy Storm later, and I actually was questioning in my mind whether it would actually destroy them all, because he says it wouldn't. But it didn't really make any difference. It still not worked out, really, and none of these cards actually caused me to have huge difficulties. I make a few mistakes because of my thoughts about the card, but they weren't too much of an issue. I think here I might go for the Master of Oz play and then try and run it over, which is kind of what I'm talking about, in the sense of I kind of made the mistake of thinking I could run him over. But it wasn't too much of an issue. I came back from it good enough. So obviously my Prisma is now the name of Big Koala, and I can Polymerization, which I believe I do into Big Oz with my 2 Des Kangaroos in hand. It wasn't a bad hand I started with there. That Dark Hole I could have used later, actually. But the choices I made to not use Dark Hole I think are quite important later on, and you'll understand why. Obviously I don't play a lot of back row hate in this deck. Possibly I should play more. I do side a little, but not really much to be. Actually no, truthfully I don't really side any at all. But I do need a little bit more spell destruction in this deck. And I might side a little bit more because I realised actually how back row can hurt this deck pretty badly. So that was the mistake I have made with this deck, that it needs a little bit more back row. So I kind of like think about this at the moment and kind of question whether it should die or not. I just agree with him. I think he is right. So I didn't really question it. I set the bottomless as well. With the bottomless, I know I kind of didn't want to play bottomless anyway, because it wasn't that I was thinking about Imperial Iron Wall and everything, but I just kind of didn't want to play bottomless. I kind of wanted to wait and see if maybe a Starbird came out or something, so I didn't actually want to play it on any of these traps or anything like that at all, really at all. So he plays a Dark Hole here, which hurts a little, but I still have a reasonably strong hand, and he's only had 2 cards in his hand, so I did kind of think in my mind that I would be actually alright. And I was actually. I drawed into a Beast King Barbaros, as you can see there. A really useful card in this deck, just that free 1900 beta, and if you play Dark Gods, you play Skill Drain, you get 3000 beta on the field that can point-to-point grapher, so really useful card. And obviously it's Beast Warrior, so here I just call it a turn. I could have ran over Zoma, or Zuma or whatever, but I couldn't, well actually no I couldn't now I think about it because it's a conscription, so that's why I didn't bother there. I probably actually would have said that in live commentary, I wouldn't have made that stupid remark I just said there. But he adds this Tiki, which is based around using this deck, because it means you can, after your monsters that are traps are destroyed, you can actually set them again. The problem with it is that it doesn't have a good enough really defense or attack really for your opponent not to run over it first, which is its biggest downfall. If it was like a 3,000 point defender, it would make a lot more sense. If it was the middle one there, it would make a lot more sense, because it's this 3,000 point defender that your opponent's not going to really get over it easy, but they can get over your other ones, but you can just keep reusing them. So I go on the defensive play here, just in case he has the Ra, really. It's all about my last game, if you watched the video, I face against the Ra OTK, where he basically just summons the Ra and beats me straight on. Which is an issue, obviously, but it was really why I kept putting my monsters in defense, and later on I do go very defensively. I don't try and risk just going for the attack, and it's just because I don't want to see that Ra on the field. I don't want to see him pay that life points and be able to just instantly win. I have no response to Ra. You can't have a response to Ra. It can't be, his normal summon can't be negated, so you can't solemn it or anything. I think you might, and you can't activate, I know, and you can't activate actually traps or spells or monster effects on the turn he's summoned either. So he's quite easy to OTK with, so there's nothing I could have done. So here I kind of think about what to play really, what to use my summon on for. I didn't really know whether I should go for Master of Oz, if maybe an XYZ play would work out better. In the end I actually just go for the Gaichi. Really the main focus why I went for the Gaichi for the 2 level 2s really here was I just wanted that monster that couldn't be destroyed straight away. It gave me a little bit of attack and defense boost as well. Gave me that defense boost that was kind of needed. Gave me that Beast King on 1600 defense, which is better. And then I draw into the Heavy Storm. I kind of was calling for this. I just needed this Heavy Storm. As soon as I got it, I had a little bit more kind of getting rid of cards in my deck, so to draw a bit more. But I was pretty happy. Here, obviously, going to get rid of one of the card. In my mind, I was questioning whether that was right, if that actually worked. Because it's the spell kind of activates, and then it would destroy that, but it would keep destroying, I thought. But I kind of, at the time, didn't know if I was right or wrong about that move, so I again just carried on. Because I wasn't really in the mood for arguing, I was kind of just wanted to get through the game, and I didn't really want to try and go on the internet and search anything, because I was recording, so I couldn't actually easily search. But I don't know. Anyway, back to the duel. Here I discard the Dark Hole. Really, I didn't want to play the Dark Hole and get rid of his traps, and the Gaichi would stay on the field, obviously, but I didn't really see that as a viable play. Instead, I thought I'd discard it with Summon a Monk to special summon the Prisma. Here, I kind of questioned, I was thinking, is there another option apart from Prisma? And I kind of then made my mind up there was actually no other option apart from Prisma. So I do special summon this in defense. Oh, no, I think, yeah, defense. Yeah, I do special summon this in defense. Again, it's all about protecting against Ra. I didn't want to risk anything. So here I reveal Master of Oz to again get rid of the big koala. I want to get them in the grave as soon as possible. I don't want them in my deck or hand, really. Obviously, I want them in my deck, but I mean, the risk of them being in my deck is that they can draw into them. So I instantly ditched it. It was a bit annoying not to have a polymerization or something, so I couldn't make another Master of Oz. Because Master of Oz, I was quite safe with putting it in attack mode, just because even if he could Ra, he wouldn't really be able to hit me. But here again, I go for a bit more attack, actually, because I go for the Yugioh Emerald to bring back my big koala here. And I actually go a little bit more on the offensive. This is mainly because of the Gaichi boost. I was pretty safe with my Gaichi boost. Emerald was on 2200, so I kind of thought, he's safe. I'm all right with him being there. And my big koala was on 3100, so again I was pretty alright with him being there. So I think here I get rid of the Tiki Soldier first. I then go and get rid of the 3000 defender as well, after putting Beast King and Barbaros in attack to get rid of. So I get rid of all three. I kind of forgot about Zone of the Spirit's effect, about him inflicting battle damage. Luckily though, I attacked with the weakest monster I had, but I did kind of forget. It's a really good effect that for a burn deck like this. It's a really interesting deck this guy was playing, kind of God burn OTK kind of style. It was really interesting to see and quite fun to see and play against actually. But again, I was playing a deck that with the right cards can just really be painful. So here I draw into my effect failure through the 1 Day of Peace, which was quite handy, and I draw into another one as well. These two effect failures do come in extremely handily. Well, I think one of them actually comes in handy. Here I was afraid of a few things here about like mirror forces and stuff, and him just trying to get rid of my cards maybe, or even just a Zone of the Spirit really. I just didn't want to take that damage. I was also afraid, as this was a burn deck, of a Magic Cylinder. I think this was mainly what I was afraid of here, was a Magic Cylinder that could just wreak my life points, and so I was a bit afraid. But here I summon again another big Koala. I kind of go on the defensive slightly here and then call it a turn, just because I was safe in the mood I was in at the moment. He goes for a Guy's Starbud and is very lucky with his discard. He discards the highest possible level monster he could, and gets that 2,400 points of damage. It's a really harmful card, this card, Alice. It can cause huge amounts of damage if you get rid of the right card. Luckily, he tries to go for another play here with Genix, Birdman. He tries to use the effect again to try and burn me even more, but I am extremely lucky in the sense it's not another card. If it was, I would have been a lot more fearful of some stuff. So here we see a Zone of the Spirit played as well, and he synchros here into a Black Rose, and this is where my effect failure comes in extremely handy. I use the effect failure really well here, I think, just to get rid of that Black Rose Dragon's effect. I don't want that synchro summon to destroy all my monsters. Obviously my Gachi would stay again, so I probably would have still inflicted a hell of a damage, but I would have been at a much bigger disadvantage. So he then tries to just get a better defense really. It was an interesting choice doing what he does here, bouncing the Black Rose back to his deck. I think it was mainly just so he could try and do it again. But it was a choice that I don't know if it was correctly made. The Black Rose obviously would have been ran over, but I might have been a bit wary of attacking more than I was here. But he goes for it anyway. I think it was mainly just so he could have another Black Rose. Again, I'm still scared of a Magic Cylinder, so and just what that face down could be. Especially with this deck, face down's going to be really hurtful. So here again he goes for it again. I thought it would be a Black Rose. In the end he doesn't actually summon a Black Rose, which I was really surprised about actually. I was a bit like, why don't you summon another Black Rose? It would cause quite a bit of damage to my deck, especially as obviously he might have thought I have another effect failure, but I don't think he would have actually went, oh, that guy has another effect failure. So here I draw into the Monster Reborn. I'm pretty safe now. I'm pretty confident in what I have, and I just kind of get a little bit more confident now because I think I have the cards. Even if he mirror forces me or Magic Cylinders, I can still be alright. It's a really strong field I've got there. He realises, and I actually realise, that the Gen X can't be banished because of Imperial Iron Wall. But yeah, here I just go a little bit more on the offensive. I was considering overlaying it into Big Eye here with the two Koalas, just for a bit of fun, because I thought maybe a Big Eye would, I don't know, just be a bit of a laugh. But in the end I just flipped the two Koalas into attack mode and declare the attack. They're my strongest monsters, and they can't actually, even if he did have a Magic Cylinder, win against me. So he then activates the Forbidden of the... God, it keeps going when I wasn't reading it. But I get rid of it. and it's quite lucky that it doesn't actually have a burn effect. If it was another zone with the spirit, I would have been wary. I really would have been wary, because he might have brought something out next turn. I don't know what he might be playing. I thought he was possibly playing the Time Lord that Light Swarms now play, which is if you have 10 or more monsters in your grave, you can special summon it. Has 4,000 attack. He then emits defeat here, so I was a bit scared. But I had a really strong hand and field, and I think he realises it when I show him to it. I was reasonably happy with how I did in this game. Not many misplays, and yeah, I was pretty happy. So yeah, what did you think, guys? You think I did too many misplays? I won the match in general, so it was really nice, and I think it was quite a fun duel to face this kind of deck. So yeah, guys, what did you think? I thought this was I'm saying it keeps repeating myself, but what do you think, guys, really? So as always, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and see you around. Cheers!